Deputy Kyle White with the Ogle County Sheriff's Office. I'm a patrol deputy with the K-9 now. Been with the department almost 3 years.
911, what's your emergency?
On January 27th at 6:14 p.m., Deputy Kyle White heard an ambulance dispatched to an address in rural Rochelle for an infant who wasn't breathing.
Just finished serving some civil paperwork. I was completing my notes on it when I saw on our CAD had opened up and it showed where it was at. Then I heard the ambulance call, and I knew I had to go. It wasn't just a wait for something. I had to go to it.
Deputy White, who was in the area, responded to the residents, realizing he would arrive well before EMS.
It was directly west of Rochelle. I was in Rochelle when I heard it come out, approximately about 3 miles. It's a rural, it's a little community out there, and it was a little bit icy. It was January. I pulled up in a hurry, obviously, hop out of my squad, go up to the residence. The mother already opened the door. I go inside. She's screaming at me. She's screaming at dispatch. I can hear Sam on the phone telling her, calm down.
Upon arrival, Deputy White finds the mother distraught, holding her lifeless child.
She was very distraught. She wanted help. She needed help. And essentially, when it came down to it, I asked her to go outside and flag down the ambulance so I could do my job. I grabbed the child from her, started assessing the child, and it's a 3-month-old child. At the time, my son was only a couple months older than that, so it kind of hit me personally.
3-month-old Wyatt Thompson was not breathing. It resonated with Deputy White as he thought of his own infant at home.
He was blue, and the most distinctive thing I can remember about it is, besides the color, the pupils of his eyes. If you look at infants, they got reactive eyes. His pupils were the same size as like irises. It was just black. There was nothing. He was lifeless. There was nothing there. It just, like I said, it hit home with me. And then we literally, the day or two prior, we had CPR training with our medics that they gave us how to do CPR and back blows on infants, and so that training was actually beneficial and useful in this situation.
Deputy White puts that training to use and proceeds to perform back blows to the infant.
It took a few attempts, and you never realize how hard you have to be to actually get a result out of when doing the back blows. And it's something in training you never know until you have to do it. And it's just like CPR. When you're doing it right, And when I did it right, I knew, because then he spit up the coagulated formula all over my pants and my shoes and stuff. And at that point, he took a gasp. And then essentially I did a few more, and it kind of came around, and then pretty much then the ambulance showed up. And
Deputy White reflects on the importance of training.
when I called the medics, it was Tyler Carls and Josh Lewis. I called them that night. I was like, this is why you take training seriously. You don't just mess around, you don't blow it off, you don't just check the box, you don't just show up and get your overtime. If you pay attention, you may not need it. You may never need it. You don't want to use it. But if you have to, you can resort to the training.
In this line of work, Deputy White tells us you tend to expect the worst.
He was transported to the hospital by the ambulance. The mother and grandma were both able to go with them in the ambulance. After that, I pretty much, made sure everything was safe and no one else was in the house. Made sure no other kids, was just them. And then that's when I started getting calls from pretty much every administrative person and supervisors, because honestly, I think everybody was expecting the worst. That's the situations we get ourselves into, is we always deal with people in the worst situations, and this is generally not the outcome, and I'm extremely happy with the outcome.
As a law enforcement professional, how do you cope in these situations?
There's always somebody calling you, ask if you need to talk, if you need to do anything, if you need help, or that's the best thing about this department. I had deputies call me, are you okay? Even if they were off, they knew what was going on. I had my supervisor call me, and admin call me, do you talk, do you need anything? And pretty much you're still excited for hours after that. It just doesn't come down for a while, but you still have to go on with your shift and do your job as expected. So.
Deputy White, what motivates you to do this job?
Community. I always get Facebook posts from people that I run into kids while I'm serving paperwork or just talking to them about. I get these the junior deputy stickers. I hand them out like it's candy pretty much. But I love giving them out, talking to kids, going to schools. The night shift is a little bit harder, but I still get to interact with the kids at night and stuff like that. That's what I enjoy. That's what I like out of the deal.